heading over there to it. Let me get my hands out of the way so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, just, use this little map. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And we're continuing to try to make today is Revell's 1971 Olds 442, or what we're calling the Faux 42, because it's going to be like a Cutlass that we turned into a 442. And I know yesterday I said that I was going to go back to work on the truck because there were so many kind of roadblocks we ran into yesterday with this kit, but I couldn't let it sit. It was frustrating me. It was kind of making me mad, so I had to get back at it. I worked at it last night to get the motor to fit how it's supposed to. And this is a stock motor that just didn't fit. Sometimes it happens with kits. They just don't quite fit right. And this was one of them. I did a little work to get that motor to fit. But before we do that, before I take this apart to show you how I got it to fit, well, one, I want to show you we are now fitting right in place here. It is sitting in its little motor mount locations, and the tail, if I can show you, the tail of the transmission is sitting in its location, and it's sitting nice and square, just as it should. I did go ahead and put in these AC lines here that I just started painting up, which are going to kind of be sitting like that once they're in there. None of this is glued in, by the way, so all this is coming back apart. But I did that because I needed to ask you guys for a favor or for some help here. I've got the distributor fittings. This is another thing I did last night. I basically had to move it forward, kind of just snuck it forward a little bit, just cut the shaft of it off and kind of snuck it forward, kind of for fitting a little bit. But otherwise, this larger 3D printed and pre-drilled distributor was sitting in the firewall, wouldn't allow the motor to sit where it needed to be, which I don't think you even really noticed that it's sitting just a hair bit too far forward, but it's now rubbing up against the firewall, which is fine because it's fitting. That's all that mattered to me. But that brings us to the distributor. And let me kind of see if I can hold this thing so tiny. Here is the distributor, which we painted chrome to look like the chrome Mallory distributor. And then I used some real thin styrene to just basically build a bracket for it, because we need to mount this. Now, the stock mounting location, let me grab some tweezers. What do I have here? Got some nice purple plastic ones. The stock location for this is actually on the motor here. And actually it's facing, they have it, or it's meant to face this way like so. And I don't know if I want to do that because this 3D printed and pre-drilled coil is bigger than the stock one. If I didn't bring the stock one up, the stock one is probably half that size, if not even smaller. And it puts so we can see that now our coil wire is going to have to go, around kind of this way in a weird way. We could, if I can get a hold of it, we could flip it around backwards this way in the kind of the stockish location, but then our wire's kind of running into the firewall. So my thought, and what I used to do back in the day, is you would mount them on the fender wells. And I don't know if I want to go here on this fender well, on the passenger side fender well, because we've got AC lines. We're also going to have heater core lines that are coming this way that we got to put in. I'm going to run all that this way on this. So I was thinking about mounting the coil, make sure you guys can kind of see, over here on this fender well. Now, the only problem I have with doing that is now our coil wire is just really long. It's going a long ways. And the other option, of course, was the firewall. And I don't know how well you guys are going to be see, but we have right here, we have I'm drawing a blank, not a fuse, but a relay. We have a relay box right here on the firewall. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's black on black. And then right here, we have the wiper motor. There might be just a hair bit. Whoops, everything's falling apart on me. Let me hold it where it needs to be. There might be a hair bit of room right here next to the AC box, but not really, because the motor itself is in the way. I was thinking we could try to go right in here, but yeah, I don't think it's going to fit down in there. So I really think our two options are the stock location with some kind of weird, hard trying to get all that to fit get the coil wire to fit in there. Or I think what I'm going to do is probably just over here on the fender well, and then just have a long wire heading over there to it. Let me get my hands out of the way so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, just use this little map. It just flew across. There's not a chance I'll find it. I better find that. Okay. Oh no, that just flew about 100 feet that direction. Oh boy. And if you knew the mess my table was, I'm going to be spending the next 5 hours finding that. But once I find it, I think I'm going to mount it here on the fender well. Let me know what you think down in the description. Also, before we take this apart and I show you how I fixed the frame to get everything to fit, I think, go to this air filter. This is the one we had talked about previously that I just had kind of laying around. It's much smaller than that aftermarket one, and I think it'll work for us. The only issue, it's still, because we moved the distributor a smidge forward, man, so here's where our upper radiator hose has to come out and come across, which is right there, and then we've got the distributor right there. Everything's going to get very tight. I think what I might have to do, and this was not dry, so now I'm getting chrome paint all over my fingers, but it was, I don't know if you noticed, this chrome paint was kind of goofed up anyways. I'm going to have to, so I stripped this chrome, I stripped the chrome off, and I don't think I got it quite cleaned enough after stripping it before I painted the chrome in, and you can see it made some, or I hope you can see kind of via YouTube that it bubbled up and whatnot on me. So I need to strip this and repaint it anyways. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is get those 90-degree angle plug boots. They go here to try to turn it. I don't know. It's gonna be tight in here with this air cleaner, even with the smaller air cleaner. So anyways, yeah, that's something else I'm trying to figure out. But let's take this apart and you can see how I basically fixed or made the motor be able to fit. And I left it unpainted, so you can see basically this is where I had to shave this all down here to get the backside of the exhaust manifold to squeeze in past the rail here. You can see how much I had to shave that down. It was not a great deal, but it was enough. And then I also had to kind of shave out right here to get the front side of the manifold to sit down, so that tab, you can see where the tabs go in right here off the motor. I had to shave that out a little bit to get that tab to sit down in there. But it now fits. If I set it back, let me see if I can get it to sit back. If I put the tailpiece in place, you can now see it sits right in its location, right where it needs to be, nice and square and straight and all that good stuff. And I think once I go back and paint this, the semi-gloss black and whatnot, you're never going to notice. You're going to never notice that this was trimmed down, and it's got everything working. And I'm a bit happier, other than the fact that my coil just went flying 50 feet across the room, and it's the size of an ant. So I think I need to go find that before I forget the direction it flew in, the trajectory it took across the room. So let me go do that. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Let me know where you would mount the coil. I really am curious, or if there's something I'm not thinking about, a place that I can go with it. Let me know down there. Oh, something I want to mention too. I am definitely doing the speakers in the back package tray. I'm figuring out how we're going to be able to do that. There are 6x9 in boxes that are available 3D printed, but I think they might be too big. I think we'll probably talk about that a little bit more tomorrow once I do a little bit more research. But we are putting speakers in boxes on the back package tray. But anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment section. I got a mission to fulfill here, and it's a seek and find. Anyways, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the hype button, hit the bell button, hit all the buttons. Do those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.